Tales from the Podcast is brought to you by the following generous sponsorships.
The Happy Hour News Team. Check them out at www.happyhournewsteam.com.
TalesFromThePodcast.com, where you can pick up your copy of Tales of Shock and Terror #1. The Skewered Universe Podcast. And viewers like you.
Fucking Ron. Being fucking Ron. Look at him over there.
Oh,
What's going on? Sorry, I'm reading about a good Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Hey, I got a book I can read too. It's the Lifesavers Hard Candy Storybook.
Ooh!
And I got a book to recommend because if you buy it,
Oh, I gotta talk to you about that after the show.
just buy it. I mean,
Yeah.
go fuck yourself.
I gotta talk to you
if you
about
haven't
that
bought
after the
it
show.
yet, I mean,
By the way,
Buy it.
and talesfromthepodcast.com. Buy that comic book. Touch yourself to it. I don't give a fuck what you do. Buy
That's what I
5
do.
copies, throw 4 away, and pretend like you're cool.
Mhm.
Who gives a
burn
fuck?
them in effigy.
I have not shot so much out of my vast deferens than when I read that comic.
Which story?
Every one of them.
Oh, good.
If you had to rank all 3 stories in order, how would you rank them?
Be honest.
By the size of loads, or
Hold on. Our guest.
We gotta bring him up with this.
I got another.
we should
writer
play
with
him
a comic.
in.
Oh, hi, fellas.
Well, now that's just product placement.
So-
Ron.
So, Jeff,
Shit.
how would you rank the stories in order to what gave you the biggest load to the smallest load?
You know, I would have thought that Chuck's story would have given me the biggest, but actually, after
Got
I weighed them out and everything, you all are equal. So I just want to thank you all.
So, like, but you measured them out on a pot scale?
Well, no, I have
This
a
one
mail,
didn't get me
I have a
high
mail
enough,
scale from
man.
stamps.com.
Oh, fair enough.
So-
And then you mailed out your load to people?
No.
Is that a Speedway coffee?
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know you guys had Speedway that far down.
I'm not that far away from you.
6 hours.
That's not that far. That's still regional.
En español es 6 horas.
Yes.
See, of course you're speaking Mexican because you're over in Los Calos.
Yeah.
Cállate, pinche gringo.
No place.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what, boy.
So, how's everybody doing this evening?
I'm very happy because I got this in the mail, and since we're all product, where the fuck did I put it? God damn it! I just
Oh, that's awesome, Ron. What
Eat
about
my
you,
ass.
Jeff?
I got my Blu-ray copy of Body Count in the mail, and I actually wrote one of the stories on here. So when more become available, you should get your copy. And we're I don't know what's going on with streaming, but yeah.
On a scale from 1 to 10, what do you think it got rated?
What?
Body count.
I don't know.
Let's look it up on IMDb. Let's see what happens.
Isn't it IMDb?
Yeah.
Abba?
What would the official release date be? The 2023 for that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, what is the ICP of that?
God.
Whoop, whoop.
That movie's just a juggalo.
God.
I'm not even seeing anything.
I'm just a juggalo.
I don't think it has
Everywhere I
like
go.
the stuff that like the Blu-rays and the links to the Indiegogo people are just going out now. So,
Huh. Yeah, 'cause I'm looking it up right now, and believe it or not, there is a lot of movies and shorts, even from 2023, called Body Count. There it is. Like, that was a popular title.
I love
It
that
got,
band.
it got used quite a bit. All right, let's see right here. Nope, it says it's still in post production, which is a lie. So we know it's done.
mhm.
Um,
It's had its world premiere.
yeah, no,
'Cause I remember when I was asking my California friends if I could sleep on their couch so I could go to the premiere.
What'd they say?
No. Well, Jeff lives too far from the theater, and the one friend that I did have that lived near the theater, he was going to be out of town with his wife, so and I'm going to name drop because that friend was BJ McDonald, the guy who directed Studio 666, Hatchet 3, and all those cool Slayer videos.
And he wouldn't let you stay there?
No, because he was going to be out of town.
But if he was in town, do you think he would have let you?
Probably.
Interesting.
Are you like really good friends?
Oh yeah, not like the best in the world, but you know.
Does he call you?
Quite good enough
Like,
friends
all
to
the
have
time.
a slumber party when you need to go.
Yeah,
there.
we'd all have feety pajamas
do
on.
you have pillow fights?
Yes.
You
Dude,
wouldn't have feety pajamas on. You'd have little boy shorts, crop top, like little bralette
Yeah,
type things.
it's in California, duh.
Yeah, well, I'm from Wisconsin. We wear
I mean-
feety pajamas.
You would
That's
dress
pretty
like the
cool.
women in Slumber Party Massacre.
And so the women would be the heroes? No.
No, I'm just saying y'all would dress like the character, like the women in that movie.
Ron's at that age where women just couldn't be heroes. God
Jesus.
damn it. We are starting off in a fucking hell of a fucking way. I tell
Oh,
you.
yes, our Christmas episode.
I'm just glad you stuck with the Hunky J name because that allowed me to go ahead and change mine as well.
The J Bizzle. I mean, I feel like we should have a rap
mean,
group.
Faux
You know,
shizzle.
The Hunky J, J Bizzle, and Uncle Ron. Like,
And I'll be the DJ because I do not want to rap. I am
don't
not a
know.
rapist.
I am not a rapist either, but like, I just got an idea how
One, two,
the band would
one,
look
two,
and how
one,
it
two.
would go. Like, Jeff would be like the hardcore rapper because his name's Jay Bizzle. Hunky J, I'd also have. Like,
You'd be like that.
I'd have to do like the slow jam part,
You'd be Heavy D.
and then Uncle Ron. I feel like you would just be making weird perverted noises in the background.
Dropping loads.
Jesus.
Throwing socks at the audience.
Yep.
Oh,
Socks is self-defense. I'm saying it for before fucking Trekopedia says
I was just
something.
gonna say, where's Trekopedia when we need him? Somebody mentioned socks. He's gonna be here any second.
Yep.
Oh my god.
That's like his call. That's like his spider.
Oh,
sense
wow.
feeling.
J-Rock.
There we go.
No.
Yeah,
know what
can
I'm
you not be
saying?
J-Rock?
Know what I'm saying?
I hate that name.
Know what I'm saying?
See, we do a track. We have to have it featuring Chuck Nasty, and Chuck's gonna have to like lay down some like smooth. I don't know.
I can lay down some raps.
Because you're a rapist?
No.
I didn't know
He's
you were
not
from
rap.
He's the
Louisiana.
rappiest
No.
of the rappists.
No,
You know that that
he's
reminds me
not
of what
rapping. Damn it.
it reminds me of one of my favorite skits of all time that I'm gonna end up having to rip for.
I like how my ball is very
The
needs
grapist.
a manscape.
yeah,
The grapist.
grapist. Oh
I'm
man,
gonna grape you in the mouth. Wait a second. Stop for a second. Did he
I
just
love
say?
whitest kids, you know.
Yeah, dude.
I've never really seen them. I just don't. Yeah.
That show was hilarious.
I'm a Kids in the Hall guy, and it's I've always been
Well,
very
I-
loyal
you
to
just-
them.
you just- well, I mean, you can be loyal to them.
It's
and
not
watch
my
another
kind of
TV
humor, he
show.
says.
See,
mean-
I missed out.
Careful there, guy.
What?
See, at the time they were out, I
Just
missed out on
relax,
Kids in
Hulk
the
Hogan.
Hall. I missed out on the state.
I
And
didn't
then
miss out on
subsequently, I missed out later on the Whitest Kids You Know. I have since gone back and seen Kids in the Hall, including the more recent Amazon stuff,
which was great.
which did not miss a beat,
Nope.
and went back and watched all of the state, which was fucking fantastic as well. And to see
And
what all
odd,
those
super
guys are
odd,
seeing.
but amazing.
You know what?
Great
It's
shows.
my humor, and
Yep.
it would have been perfect for me at the time.
Yep.
And
It's just- it's
so
fucked
fucking
up.
pissed I missed it.
Yeah. Like I've been going back and watching a lot of Craig Ferguson, and there was 2 weeks where the guy who does the voice of Jeff the Robot wasn't there, so they had celebrities come in, like they had Alfred Molina and people like that. And then eventually they had Chloe Banderas, who was Antonio Banderas's gay little brother, and it was voiced by Thomas Lennon.
Oh my!
And it was so funny. He's like, Antonio, let me leave in the crawl space.
So I guess before we go ahead and jump into this movie, obviously we always got some fun videos and stuff to share.
Well, wait, hold on for mine until right before we talk about the movie.
I understand that.
Okay.
I'm assuming this other one is Jeff's.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you see what it is, yeah, we've got that. But before we play that video, I got a few little images I want to share, just to warm us up, get us in the holiday spirit.
All right, let's see what you got, Jeff. Jay Bizzle. Ho ho ho. Ha, ha. What else do we got?
For those of us who have seen Final Destination,
I feel like you're still a little bit upset about the next franchise we're tackling.
Oh no, I'm okay with that. I just didn't find anything Leprechaun Christmas.
Oh my god, I can't wait for Ron's first watch on every Leprechaun movie. Oh, that's gonna be amazing.
I'm sorry, Ron.
Thank you.
This last one I think is fantastic, so I had to share this. Forgive
That is good. That is good. All right. Well,
those come courtesy of my wife, Leanne, by the way, so you can thank
did she make those?
No, she just found them somewhere and had to share them with me. She's like, "Here, I'm sharing these with you." I was like, "All right, cool." Like,
Could you maybe share some bedroom time and quit looking at all those goddamn memes? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, then, let's go ahead and jump into some of these videos. Just to get to it before we forget, this one's a little longer, a little over 3 minutes, but you guys are welcome for the laughs.
You kids look like you could use a delicious fruity beverage!
Who are you?
Might I suggest Fizzy Pop's Grape Blast? The new soda from Johnson & Hedges. Open wide, kids, because I'm going to grape you in the mouth!
He's going to what them in the mouth?
He's gonna grape them.
He's going to grape them.
Yeah, in the mouth.
Right.
Sure. There's more.
No, I'm sorry. All right, well, I'm not sure that I'm comfortable with the catchphrase, I'm gonna grape you in the mouth for our new mascot.
Yeah,
I mean...
We're just not sure about that one. Yeah, we might want to workshop it a touch.
Really? Why? That's his thing. He grapes people. He grapes people in the mouth.
We're just not exactly sure that
He sneaks into little kids' rooms in the middle of the night, and he grapes them in the mouth.
Okay, see, because I think that the reason that I'm a little hesitant is because to me, it sounds like he's saying, he's going to rape them.
What? Oh, no. No. What? Oh.
I'm sorry.
Sir, get your mind out of the gutter. He's a grape. How is a grape gonna rape a kid? What are you talking about?
But it sounds like
it's a grape commercial, sir.
I love it. He, grapes the kids. Okay, I mean, if I'm the minority here, we can keep going.
Come here, kids! I'm gonna tie you to the radiator and grape you!
Okay.
What? Why'd you stop it?
I'm gonna tie you to the radiator and grape you?
What?
I'm going to rape you! No, that's what it sounds like he's saying. I love it. Really?
Are you back on this rape thing again?
Why was he gonna tie them to a radiator?
That's how he grapes people. That's what he does.
No!
He's the grapist.
The grapist? That's his name?
The Grapist, classic.
This is obviously a rape scenario.
What? Why are you trying to twist a children's soda commercial into your weird, sick, sort of twisted, pervy...
Why were they running? Why was that child screaming mom?
Well, that kid is a horrible actor, and the next time we shoot the commercial, we're going to use somebody else, because the thing is...
These kids were obviously horrified.
Not that girl. Look, she's totally asking for it.
What?
Look at her. She's begging to get graped.
Will you listen to yourself?
Look what she's wearing.
Look what she's wearing?
It's purple.
Oh. Okay. No!
Rape those kids! I love it!
Look, do you guys want the commercial or not?
Yes, we want the commercial. Of course, we want the commercial.
We want it. Here's the paperwork.
I just have some serious reservations about this whole thing.
Do you mind?
No, not at all.
Buy some today and get a free grape whistle.
A grape whistle? Really?
Okay, when I finish graping you, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna grape your mother and your father, and then I'm gonna take your whole family down to the basement and grape you all for decades and decades.
See, I think this is too much.
Decades.
I think it's too much.
Classic. I mean, it's so wrong. But
Ron didn't react until he said the grape whistle, and I just saw Ron's head just drop.
Oh God!
Jeff was dying that whole time.
I was dying when he
Rest
said,
in peace,
"Look what
Trevor."
she's wearing. She's asking for it."
Chuck couldn't see it, but Jeff's there at the bottom of the screen, just like.
No, I was like, no, stop. Grape the kids.
Well, there's everyone's a little taste of the whitest kids you know. One of the greatest comedy series to get canceled way too fast.
Truth.
Now, Ron, I have to ask your opinion, man. Since you didn't really get a chance to ever watch that show very much, what do you think of that skit?
It was okay.
I mean, being a fan of Kids in the Hall, I mean, it should.
There's a reason it wasn't on like Comedy Central or network TV.
No, I think there's a lot of nudity and everything in it, dude.
Yeah, I think it was on like IFC or something.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So
then we're gonna go ahead and jump into one of Jeff's videos, the KFC Christmas.
Skipper, let's see what the Colonel got you.
Okay. A KFC $5 fill-up? Yes! With popcorn chicken that's made with one piece of chicken. Not like those nuggets that come in funny shapes.
Did you like it?
I got one too! There's even a cookie. This is the best Christmas ever.
And honey, the Colonel didn't leave us out.
She liked it, right?
It's a $20 family fill-up! That's a great home-cooked meal that we don't have to home-cook.
Well. Now I don't know who to jack off to.
Rest in peace, Norm.
Yep. One of the greats.
Oh God. Well, and then the last one is a actual news story that I found, because I mean we love to just dive into a little bit of news for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a story I couldn't avoid trying to talk about with everybody. So here you go.
And a dog waste bag dispenser, boy, it caused quite the scare at a McMinnville school. Take a look at this. Police posted this picture of it to Facebook. As you can see, it looks like a hand grenade, but it's not. It's a container to carry those waste bags. You can see one popping out of it right there. Well, someone saw it in the field near the running track at Patton Middle School on Monday morning. Officers secured the area. They started to communicate with the Oregon State Police bomb squad. They even used a drone to take close-up pictures of it without going near it. When they saw those pictures, though, yep, they determined it was not dangerous, and all the school activities returned to normal. I could see why it caused a scare, though.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
You know, good for the kids or whoever spotted it and reported it, because, you know, you never know.
Yeah.
Anybody else notice that the chicken black was like purposely sticking her tits out more?
Purposely.
Yeah, like they were just like.
I wasn't paying attention to that. I was paying attention trying to figure out how stupid. God.
Just think about that for a second. They had police and a whole bomb squad out there.
They used drones to find out what it was. Like,
it was a dog shit bag container.
How would you make it look like that?
I
Jesus
can't.
Christ.
I question a lot of novelty things out there.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very true.
I mean, it still had the pin in it,
Yeah.
essentially. So it's not a danger if they would have just walked up
I
a little
mean,
closer.
it can still be a danger with the pen in it, but I mean,
it's not.
Yeah,
It's not like it's a commie pineapple.
Now, do you have to take the pen out to release the bags? So, all right, there goes our videos for the day, guys.
Are we gonna get into the movie now?
Unfortunately, we are.
Great.
So
I mean,
today,
it almost feels like that story kind of bombed.
Nah. Well, the dogs were leaving bombs.
it was a.
I guess I really
hitter.
blew that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a piece of shit video.
Today we're going to be talking about another piece of shit video from
Little
1990.
stinker.
This is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3,
That's
Leatherface, directed by Jeff Burr.
Not me. See, another
A different JB.
Another JB comes in. Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Well, I mean, that's why we have nicknames. And, I mean...
At the time, the only name in this, at the time, was Ken Foree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and let's talk about this movie a little bit.
Can we show the video first? So we can get the official, the guy who knows more about Texas Chainsaw Massacre than anything else. We get to see what he thinks.
Paul Rubens.
All right.
Funny.
Is there a video with Paul Rubens in it?
Shut up.
I'd much rather watch just like a whole stand-up of Paul Rubens doing weird shit than watch this movie again.
I'm the only person who likes this movie, aren't I?
Probably.
No.
There's other weirdos
I'm
out there, but
holding
yeah.
my comments until later. Then you will find out.
Well, here.
Suspense is killing you all.
Here's a video from Ron.
Leatherface. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 has a few problems. Now, one, the movie doesn't make a lick of sense. Of course, this has never stopped us on drive-in theater up to now, but it's got more problems than that. Two, a guy gets chainsawed through the skull, and then he comes back later in the movie with only slight injuries. I mean, they don't even do this in Friday the 13th movies. And normally, I wouldn't even mention Friday the 13th and Saw in the same breath, but I'm afraid they have brought it down to that level. Number three, the movie is over so fast that you can't hardly believe it. You think the film broke or something. Four, they made it in California. Five, it even looks like they made it in California. They've got hills in the background. Six, you never even see Leatherface do any actual carving. But even if these were the only things wrong with this movie, I got to mention one thing that happens right at the first that is completely unforgivable. I'm sorry, but Kate Hodge, the new actress who's trying to replace the greatest screamer in film history, Marilyn Burns from the first movie, Kate Hodge runs over an armadillo in the road. And then she stops to see if the armadillo is okay. Obviously, these people have never been to Texas. Now, I know what the producer and the director and everybody's going to say. They're going to say that it used to be a good movie, but then the Motion Picture Censor Board got on their case and gave it an X rating, and they had to take a chainsaw to the movie, and what came out was different. And it's true, the Jack Valenti boys hammered away at this baby, evidently demanding stuff be taken out that they allowed in the first movie in 1974. Now, I don't know exactly understand what's happening here, but I know that during the past 2 years, these bozos in L.A. have decided to crack down on horror movies. They want movies about nice cannibals. They want cannibals that carve up tourists in loving ways. But see, what I'm getting at is that the owners of this movie, they had a choice. They could say, we don't give a flying for holy what the MPAA Censor Board says, and so we're putting out the movie without any rating on it. Or they could weenie out, cut it into 1 million pieces and release it with an R. They weenied out on us. They suckered us for $5. They profaned the name of the most revered horror movie in film history. Now, I'm not saying it's all bad. I mean, there's some gall-dang scary stuff in it. But I'm going to have to go somewhere else while y'all watch it. Because I can't bear to think of this thing going out on the airwaves, turning the chainsaw that we all know and love into a steak knife. 9 dead bodies, no breasts, no soul. You know, that's what they took out. They took the soul out of the saw. Go ahead, run the flick, but I got to go. I don't want to cry in public. I'm sorry. I'm all right.
I think that might be the most respect I've ever had for that man.
I do want to say, before we dive in, I appreciate the attention to detail and how they just updated Joe Bob's set for the new show based on Monster Vision. It's
that wasn't even Monster Vision. That was on the movie channel.
Was that the movie channel? Okay.
They wouldn't show Chainsaw 3 on TNT. But that's the weird part is they won't show Chainsaw 3, but they will show AEW.
Well, things have changed since that time.
Well, yeah, and plus Warner Brothers might not even carry it anymore, so it doesn't matter. Anyway.
Oh, man. I mean, it's really hard to follow Joe.
He was right. He hit all the fucking notes right on the head.
I mean, yeah, I completely agree. Like, to me, this shouldn't even have the name. In fact, this is one of those times where I'm happy that it's called Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Like, I think they should have just kept the name Leatherface and not even made it part of the series.
Oh, you mean like the other Leatherface later on in the series?
Yeah, which was also a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I think it's all shit. I like the third one. And I'm not saying Joe Bob was really wrong about what he's saying. I'm not saying it like it's the best or nothing like that, but I enjoy watching it. I know it's fucking ridiculous, but I like ridiculous shit. Mm-hmm.
There are things about this. There are things about this movie that I'm like, okay, I see what you were trying to do,
but you failed miserably.
I feel like so many people involved in this, they can say whatever they want. I just think nobody really knew what to do to put this together.
Well, if you watch a director's cut, it's not much different than this.
True.
That's what I heard. I was watching a video on it earlier. It was a what the fuck happened to this movie from the Joe Blow channel, and yeah, it was basically like the director's cut is out, and they were talking about it makes it a better movie. I'm like, I mean, they said it was only 6 minutes that was initially cut.
And what can you do in 6 minutes?
Director's version. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I've only seen this movie twice because I watched it once a couple years ago. I was like, okay, I've seen Leatherface now.
Yeah.
So I watched it again yesterday for this, and I was like, okay, there's things here I can give him credit for, but there's a lot more that I'm like, it kind of falls flat, but I still had some fun watching it. It's not the best movie. It's by far not the worst I've seen. So, I mean, it's not Next Generation, which, you know, spoiler, I'm not a huge fan of because it's just, I don't know. But
Next Generation, at least they tried something different, and it was Kim Henkel, the guy who co-wrote the original movie, who came back to try and do things. This seems like they took all the things they did in part one, all the things they did in part two, threw them against a wall, and whatever stuck, they put into the movie. And then they added the like, apparently now Bubba's a rapist. He knows what to do with them private parts. What the fuck?
Well, I mean, like
he's gonna rape him in the mouth.
I mean, but like, I think that's more realistic than him not being that way.
Well, no, because he's supposed to be simple. He wouldn't know what the hell's going on. He would be acting more like in part two when he's when he didn't know what to do with Stretch. All he knew is that he liked her.
What do you mean by that?
What?
He was simple.
Exactly what developmentally challenged. Yeah.
Yeah, but like touchy. Like even like people like who don't function like us still figure out where to put their dick.
Yeah, but the way they're saying,
I mean, there's been plenty. I mean, if you look at true crime and shit, that shit has happened before, where they really didn't know any better. They saw a movie, they saw their parents, they saw somebody, you know. So you can't really like put it at that. It's more believable to me that he would be that way than not. I mean, if you're looking at a family that's fucking deranged, like beyond what deranged is.
I think the best way to describe him is he's still kind of like Jason Voorhees, still much a child up here. So you can use them and kind of manipulate them to do what you want. But also he's kind of crazy.
Speaking of Jason Voorhees, though, the little girl in the movie was also the young Tina from part 7.
Yep.
Well, like the thing is, like, because you're talking about like, oh, you know, whatever. Because like you want a character like Leatherface to be brutal.
Simple.
I want my Leatherface to be like he was in the first one.
No, you want. I mean, because like he's not all there in the first one either.
Well, no, but he changes in every single movie.
Of course.
Yeah. But you can also see the rapey vibe starting in the second one.
I never took it that way. I took it as
childhood infatuation.
Yeah, like he started to have a crush on Stretch, but wasn't sure what it was because nobody's ever told him any different except, hey, you kill him,
you
skin him, you cook him, you smoke him, whatever.
An announcement for everybody listening to the show. If you ever meet a woman named Stretch, don't fuck her. Don't try to fuck her. I mean, nobody should ever fuck it.
But if you're going to, you're probably going to need to add some friends along with you on that journey.
It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Sounds like it's going to take more to fill that fucking hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, fisting won't help.
No, you have to put 5 in.
You're gonna have to put your feet in.
How do you know,
6.
Ron?
What?
How do you know?
I've seen adult films.
All right. I was just kind of hoping I was going to go towards.
No, I just know from experience. I've met some bitches.
What?
Jesus Christ.
You have experience with that?
I have experience with whores. You know,
with fisting whores.
Yeah. Not against their will, they want it.
So you puppeteered them in a way.
Jack Nasty, motherfucker. There's reasons why I have that name.
There's reasons.
Yeah,
exactly.
You puppeteered women.
I have.
Huh.
Yeah.
I can't imagine these women were decent women.
No, actually, they're very decent, very well respected women. They just they just get a little kinky in the bedroom. You know, if you want to get really
oh god,
down in the nitty-gritty on it.
To bring it back to this real quick, like I never got the vibe in the second one that he was rapey. I got childhood infatuation crush. Yeah. In this movie, it's like they heavily wanted to imply the little girl was his daughter, and I'm like, but you didn't. It doesn't fit.
No,
with how he's been portrayed in the first two movies. It's
not only that, but it's like where did Bubba come from? I mean, he was right on top of when that grenade went off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. The movie's
Maybe
a fucking
it's like
I never argue that.
Copycat.
One thing I heard was this is supposed to be more of a direct sequel to the first one.
Huh!
But yet the Stretch character shows up. I'm like, she wouldn't exist.
That's not Stretch. No matter what Caroline Williams wants you to fucking think, that is not Stretch.
Her and the director Jeff Burr continue to be like, oh, it's Stretch. It's like, no. She just got a.
She lost her fucking mind at the end of part 2.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if anything,
Caroline Williams trying to get her other 15 minutes of fame.
It's her twin sister. I don't know what the opposite of.
There's
Stretch
no
is.
twin.
It's her twin sister Gape.
Her.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
She looks so weird. I hope she doesn't have a twin sister.
You gotta go in with like your dive or what?
You got to get a dive team to go in.
You got
wearing like a police dive team.
Oh wait, was that what the submersible was trying to do earlier this year?
Yes, they were trying to get into Stretch's Gape.
The Gapes of Stretch.
I'm sorry.
The Gapes. Is that like the grapes of wrath?
That was a very fucked up joke to make. I do apologize.
They Chuck Nastied her.
Oh, you know what? You don't have to apologize for that joke because those guys were fucking idiots, and they were millionaires. So who gives a shit?
Let's not start that. I do want to say the best actor in this movie by far. Okay, well, there's 2. Vigo is good. Ken Foree is good. Everyone else, including the guy from the Night of the Living Dead remake,
who also was in part 7 of Friday the 13th.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what bothers me?
I always forget he was in part 7. It's just like you're so forgettable.
You know what
He's been killed by a few of the greats.
You know what bothers me about this one is that Leatherface doesn't have his multiple personalities anymore. Viggo Mortensen's character has kind of taken on like the old woman in a way because he's got his nails painted, he's wearing the apron and all that kind of stuff, and that's having Bubba have different personalities is a way to kind of show just how fractured he is.
Yeah,
you know, and it's nobody needs to see, and that's the thing. You don't need to see how he makes his masks like in the very beginning. No, and you don't need to see what he looks like without the mask. Fuck you, remake. You know, it's all about mystery. You don't need to know why Michael's killing motherfuckers.
No. There's a difference between Leatherface and Michael Myers. We don't really care. We don't need a backstory of Michael Myers.
You don't need one with
Leatherface. It's just like the beginning of Nightmare on Elm Street. I always thought it was kind of cool when it shows him making his shit.
Well, that's different. He's just showing the knife. They don't give you any backstory on him.
No, but I want to see Leatherface make his mask.
I don't even care about the backstory of any of this shit either. I mean,
you don't really need you don't really need.
JB's so happy right now.
No,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You don't really need a backstory.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of those series where it's like you start off on one of the highest fucking high points that you could ever fucking start off with a horror fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
You got, I mean, as you guys all know, I mean, I gave it like a perfect fucking score, which is not very common for me. I mean, the suspense was there in the original, the mystery, you don't have the whole less is more. I mean, and ever since then they take away something that made the original great, and they keep replacing it with more bullshit fucking stuff. And the second one was a piece of shit, and in my opinion, this one's even more of a fucking piece of shit.
I think that a lot of it is that it lacks the charm of Jim Seedow, because even when he's playing fucking Psycho, he is an amazing actor. He studied from theater and stuff. And one of my favorite bits that he's ever done, besides "Look What Your Brother Did to the Door," which is fucking fantastic, and the part where he has to run back in to turn the electricity off because he doesn't want the bill going up, when he has Marilyn Burns in the truck, is when he first runs across Dennis Hopper in the caverns, and Dennis Hopper says, "I'm the Lord of the Harvest," and he says, "What is that? Some kind of health food joint?" And I was like, that is just like
said
the
that
timing.
like fucking Hank Hill.
Yeah, shut up. It's like, well, maybe Dennis Hopper is Hank Hill for all we know.
It's
like
not
his dad.
It's for all we know, because we don't know who it was.
Yeah, you don't know, but no, it's like that. It's just that his timing was impeccable, and even though he was a psychopath, he still kind of had a charm to him. And we never saw him get involved in anything. Whereas in 3, everyone's involved in the killing, and there isn't somebody who's just kind of like questioning it and kind of like docile. You know what I mean? Like there needs to be more of a personality for the characters. Where here we're getting 2 main characters that you don't give a fuck about. You're getting a family that you really don't give a fuck about. The only character for me that I gave any shits about, and yes, it might be because of Dawn of the Dead, but Ken Foree, who fucking delivers even in the dead on Kenan and Kel.
I think one thing that happened with this series was, okay, the first one comes out in the 70s, which was the height of like exploitation, sexploitation, these grindhouse horror films. So they knew exactly what beats to hit. When 2 comes around, it's at the height of that 80s slasher era. There's more splatter. There's more blood. So I think Cannon...
Tom Savini comes in to do the makeup effects, yeah.
And you've got Cannon going...
movie.
Yeah. Cannon's going, we got to make something that's crazy and over the top and ridiculous. And Hooper's like, I'll lean into the humor. By the time you get to
I just want to make Life Force.
When we get to 3, we're in the 90s at this point. And you have New Line taking over.
Ugh.
And... I think at that point, New Line didn't know what to do, and nobody else knew what to do, so they kind of just put something together.
Well, that's the thing is, New Line, at that point, Freddy had like 4 movies at that point. So having, that's what, it doesn't make sense, because he started off with the gore. You know what I mean? Like, from the word jump, there was gore. But when it, it's, you got like movies like Chainsaw and Halloween that came out with no gore at all.
I just think these were trying to fit into a mold of the eras that were being made at the time. And while 1 nailed it, and 2 was right in that wheelhouse, despite how many people may not like it, I really enjoy part 2. 3 tried to fit in there, like right at the beginning of the 90s and all that, the end of the 80s, but I think it just kind of missed the mark by a bit. That being said, I still have some fun watching it. Like, I think Vigo's character, while it's kind of weird, like when he looks at the guy, goes, "I want you to call me Tex," and he's like so genuinely hurt when the guy uses his real name. It's one of those moments where you're like, "Oh, there's actually a real person under here."
Well, because it's Viggo Mortensen,
yeah,
and he's just preparing for Eastern Promises, where he can have a naked fight scene in a sauna.
I just watched that a couple months ago, actually.
I still have not seen that.
A History of Violence is so fucking good. Have you ever seen that?
I have not. I have.
Oh, it's so good. That's a little grapey.
That's a what's his ass movie?
Yeah.
Cronenberg.
Yeah.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, I'm a huge fan of it. A huge fan.
And that's fine. The first one deserves it.
The first one, yeah, 100%. I'm not saying that all of them, because I have issues with a lot of the sequels. I love I love part 2.
Same.
3 has a little bit more I can't disagree with anything that's being said. The movie's a fucking mess. But like for me, it has personal reasons why I love it a lot. It's got memories that kind of hold there, so it's nostalgic in ways for me. So like,
That's the same way I am with 4, and I think you know why.
But like, but I've always liked this one though. I've always thought that it was, it missed the mark, in different on different levels. Shut up.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but it's like this side of the screen right here. Me and JB are like, fuck this movie. And you guys over here are like, it's okay. I've never thought I'd ever agree with JB on anything.
No, it's kind of a monumental moment. But
and I get a lot of people saying that JB just hates everything, doesn't he? I'm like, yeah, kind of.
No. I don't.
Once in a blue moon, he doesn't. Come on, give him.
I think the thing is, and we can all say this, we all have these. We like what we like, and certain things we just, no matter what, we don't like.
Like I find this movie to be kind of fun because it is so stupid. I mean,
it's so bad. I almost thought this was Jason Blum's first thing.
No, like this. I've seen much worse. Like I'd rather watch this than that fucking piece of shit Leatherface that came out a few years back. I hated that. I thought it was a complete piece of shit. At least they tried to stay with like the idea of the family and whatever, and they were just trying to up it a little bit. But they also didn't make a lot of sense with some of the scenes and how they did some of the things. No, it didn't make a lot of fucking sense.
Well, my
and
whole
they do that, and they get worse as they go. But yeah, like technically, I think 4 it makes more sense as a movie than 3 does.
Yeah,
but. I guess it's also, I like the whole vibe of the movie. I like it being kind of dark, kind of gritty at times, but like when it's not, it's like really bright. Like, I don't know, there's something about it I've always liked.
Well,
it's got that.
Is coming from.
It's got
in California.
Well, no, right, yeah, but I just like the feel of the film itself, the way it looks. I don't know. I just get that it's a very like, hey, found this movie at. When I was written videos, kind of feel like, oh, but what is this? It's like, oh, this isn't going to be that good. And, I've seen worse. I thought it was interesting with some of the characters that were added into the whole thing. I didn't agree with a lot of it just because it didn't make any sense. And there were characters that should have been involved with that. But I will say this, though. Do you happen to have the trailer?
I just found it.
The Lady in the Lake thing?
Because that to me is like that
was better than the whole movie.
That means a lot to me because it's one of my favorites of all time. I remember when I first saw that
trailer up real quick.
Yeah, I've got it. I've already loaded it in.
Oh, you already loaded it? You downloaded it and everything? All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, here we
go.
You
downloaded it into the back end.
Here's a trailer.
Drop it loading.
Oh god.
Dropping loads.
I just really didn't.
Brother.
I just didn't want to have to watch any more of this movie.
But this is a great trailer.
All right, there.
Oh, that was fantastic.
That was the whole movie. All right, I'm sorry.
Really?
Some tales are told, then soon forgotten. But a legend is forever. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Now, from the producers of A Nightmare on Elm Street, the real terror begins November 3rd.
That's another thing. It comes out in November?
Right.
Well,
So
it's
so
also
ridiculous
another thing with production.
to take Texas Chainsaw Massacre and mix it with like Excalibur.
Well, first off, I
Well,
almost got the feel that Bubba might have been the Highlander. For the way the lightning hit the
Well, when
plane.
it comes to this movie, there should be only none.
The thing is, the first time I saw that trailer before I
Ron,
even
that might have been one of the best things you've said in a long time. I'm giving you an applause.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Thank you.
We
The
should
thing
probably
is,
end
when
the
I-
show there.
when I first saw this trailer before I saw the movie, I thought, oh, it's something centering around Leatherface more than the family. So we're
You
getting
would think, yeah.
Well, I
maybe
mean,
a
with
solo
the-
Leatherface thing, like after
the
things
title
went down
didn't
from
give
the
that
first one or
out?
something. That's not what the movie is.
Right.
The movie's just another, well, here's a wacky family that's come together. And it's just a
I'd rather
mishmash
see
of
Vin
people brought
Diesel's
together.
fucking family shit.
It's all about family.
But my problem with this movie,
quarter mile at a time.
my problem with this movie is that they take this amazing film, the original one that came out in '74. They take this amazing film, arguably the greatest horror film ever made, and I saw you roll your eyes there, boy. It is the greatest horror movie ever made.
I agree.
Okay, good. And they couldn't match it, so they kept like leaning into adding the gore and the viscera and the shock and all that. And at that point, it just becomes another like a horror film. It loses anything that makes it special. So I'm kind of like, who cares?
I don't get how that makes it like takes away from being special. It's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It's called that.
You
but it's like,
want it to be. You want it to get to be to a certain
first
point.
one
The
was
problem
Texas
is you can have
Chainsaw
the gore.
Massacre.
The problem is you can have the gore and all that shit. The problem is that when they quit worrying about story, they start worrying about plot, or they forget about plot. They're more worried about this or the other. That's the problem. A lot of these
Well,
fucking
that
movies.
might
They
be
worry
part of the
more
problem.
about
Maybe
guts
the
and
original
gore
one,
than
they
the
just
other
had to
stuff.
care more about the fucking story.
But
I
like,
mean, they just don't give a fuck about the story with this.
To put
no,
it,
and I
put it in
can't
a-
argue with that with this. They kind of completely go.
Yeah.
They have no idea what the movie was. They just somebody who told them they knew this guy wore people's faces. I can't argue with that.
To put it in
But-
a modern context, what happened with this is exactly what happened to the Saw franchise. It no longer became about a story going into it, and there happened to be the Jigsaw arc running through. It was, okay, we got to find creative kills. Oh, wait, we have this character. We got to retcon everything to fit him in. And every Saw from like part 3 forward was retcon the movie.
Although the new Saw was fantastic.
I still haven't seen it. I got to check it out. But
It was really good because you bring John Kramer back.
Even Jigsaw was like, okay,
Probably
this
should
is
stop doing
your
that, though.
this is like your chance to try. And it was just, again, it was, well, did you know that this person was there? Huh?
Well,
Bet
I
you
mean,
didn't.
speaking of things they should stop is the Scream movies because their director just left again. Their new director just dropped out.
Yeah,
They
Curse
fucking should have
07.
stopped the Scream movies after like the second one.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have enjoyed
I like 4.
part
and
3
5
is the
and
one
6.
where I'm like,
I like 4.
4 I
5
think brought it back.
4 was
cool with
good.
it
5
stopping after
was
2.
iffy. 6 I actually kind of enjoyed, even though it
I didn't mind 5 and 6. I thought, okay, you're kind of bringing it to a newer generation. I get that, but you're still respecting the
Fuck this
original.
newer generation. They suck anyway.
The thing is, we were once that newer generation, and somebody was saying that about
But now
us
we're
with the
not.
stuff we
And-
did.
it was much better.
Yeah. Now we're the boomers.
I mean,
And the thing is,
you guys
I
are
don't
all
want to
older
be
than
like,
me.
fuck the new generation. I want
I
to be like,
do.
let's
Fuck
welcome
'em
them in
all,
with
dude.
open arms. The more horror fans we get, the more stuff we get.
The more shit we get.
The older I get,
It's not entirely.
wait, real quick. I have to intervene on this one. The older I get, the more I don't give a fuck. Like, because I've had my open arms for a long time for a lot of these assholes, and they want to argue about what movie's good and what's not. And it's like, you're telling me
know.
that fucking,
They all think
you're telling
like
me
Art
The
the
Ring is
Clown
a
is
really
good
good
and
movie.
stupid shit
Yeah,
like
all
that.
these people that think Art the Clown's good. What the fuck?
Fuck you. I like Terrifier.
There
is-
you are.
that
You're
is
just
not
like
all,
this
though.
new generation.
There
No,
are
I like,
just like-
I
you're just like
Terrifier
Pepsi.
because it brings it back to the old school. It goes
You're
back
just
to
like Pepsi. You're the choice of a new generation.
But I hate Pepsi.
The-
Coke is it.
there are going to be new horror
Don't
fans.
talk about my Mountain Dew like that.
There will be
Fuck
new
your
horror
Mountain
fans all
Dew.
the
That's what
time.
my
Chuck's
teeth
a
look like they
Pepsi
do.
crystal.
Just
kinda
like
guy.
just like we were new horror fans at one point, and we grew up on certain things. And
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of us were like, well, wait a minute. If this is what's here now, what came before. And there are still going to be people like that who will go back and appreciate the stuff that we appreciate. There will be assholes in every fandom. From
Yeah,
pro
but do we have
wrestling
it going the
and
other way?
everything.
Do we
There'll be
have people who
try
are
to
going and looking
gatekeep
forward and enjoying these newer things?
Well, you got to remember, I'm different because I came up in the old stuff. First horror movie I saw was the original Chainsaw. Then I started watching Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. So it was all stuff that had happened before I knew what was going on. So I didn't watch the current stuff. You know what I mean? So, but a lot of the people nowadays, their fucking attention spans are so limited that something like The Changeling is boring to them, and I find it fucking amazing.
And that's not
I like
their
The Changeling
fault.
a lot, actually.
That's not their fault. That is the fault of media evolving to a point where they think everyone needs to watch little clips.
It's
And
also the fault of a lot of these fucking stupid parents.
Also true.
Parents not doing their
Like
job.
The Changeling should be required watching for everyone who wants to get into horror.
Yes, even if you don't like it, you can't say I don't like it because it's too boring, because it's fucking fascinating.
It's full of a story. It's a story. I mean, you can use it as a good example.
It's a perfect slow burn movie. Yeah, it's not gory.
It's slow,
It's not over the top. It doesn't have to be because there is atmosphere.
But Hereditary's the greatest movie ever made. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
But see, there's room for movies to have gore and be over the top, and it's perfectly fine. I love
Makes
a
sure the
lot of those
story
movies
makes sense, though.
because
Make
a lot
sure,
of stuff that I was watching early 2000s was that crazy fucking over the top, the new French horror and all that kind of shit that was just so outrageous. And then you had your early 80s that was completely ridiculous with that shit. And I loved it. I had my Gorehound
right
days.
there too.
Yeah. There was that
mean,
Gorehound stuff that we all just are like, the more blood that splatters around, the more just shit that hits the fan.
But
we love.
blood, crazy, weird, stupid shit, and something like Jack Frost. I expect that. I see that coming. But when you take a fucking franchise like Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
that started with no gore,
the greatest fucking films of all fucking time, of any genre, nonetheless just fucking horror, one of the greatest fucking movies made, and then you know 20 years later, whatever the fuck, we got Leatherface. Fuck them. That's stupid.
Not only that, but
you're entitled to feel that way. I would
a lot of people who are like they come up on the stuff that's happening currently don't know the joy of certain things. Like for me, when I was old enough to go to a convention, I went to Wizard World in Chicago and I found a bootleg Last House on the Left. You know, the old 72.
That's almost as cool as the bootleg I have over here.
The Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
The Last House on the Left, and I saw that, and
worst bootleg ever.
And I bought it, and the guy was like, "Are you over 18?" I'm like, "I was thinking it was like 19 or 20," and oh god, and I brought it home and I watched it, and I was in shock. Wow.
They couldn't even be bothered to use one of those old school label kits for the CD, for the DVD, and put that on there.
I actually have an original VHS of Last House on the Left with the hard case and everything. Like the label doesn't even stay on the VHS now.
No, see, but that's the kind of movie that's when those kind of things were shocking in the early 70s because it wasn't being done. Now you got people who are like, well, this is so shocking. No, it's been done already. You know what I mean? You don't. If they wanted to make Leatherface different, they should have gone back to the drawing board. You know what I mean? And they should have had it be like maybe even a prequel before prequels were a big thing. You know what I mean? Have that be the origin story of Leatherface. You know, instead of what we got, because that was fucking garbage.
It would make more sense than honestly what the story was.
Yeah.
In Leatherface, again, it doesn't make sense.
Because the ending of part 1 leaves it open, but the minute Sally gets back to civilization, she's gonna be able to tell them where this house is, and what's gonna happen is exactly what happened in the beginning of 3D. You know, so how can it keep going?
I do kind of like when the beginning scroll happens and they're like, look, she went in, what they say, into an institution, and then she
died in
later.
77.
I'm like, that sums up her story kind of perfectly. And then you get the 2022 Netflix, which is like, but she's back. It's like, well, wait a minute.
Oh no, she's a Texas Ranger.
That was the stupidest part of that movie. Other than that, I like that movie.
That what?
I like that one.
Hey,
Sorry.
Everyone is
I
entitled
liked
to
it.
like what they like.
2 weeks.
Not
of
on
doing
here,
that
but
one.
I don't care. I
In
liked
2 weeks.
it. I hated that whole part of that movie, though.
In 2
No,
weeks,
it's not in
we
2.
were talking
Yeah,
about-
2 weeks from today. Yeah, because we got to do
2
3D.
weeks, we were doing that one. You're
I like
welcome to
3D
come back.
also.
I love 3D.
It
I think
doesn't
it's
make
the only.
any sense whatsoever. But again,
Oh wait,
it's
3
a
weeks
fun
because
movie.
we got 3D. We're doing too, aren't we?
We're doing 3D, and we're doing 4 next, and then we're doing 3D, and then we're doing
3 weeks. So 3 weeks, yeah. Motherfuckers.
What?
And then
I
we're
hate
gonna do
2022.
Leatherface, and then we're gonna do.
No, we're not.
I
And
still
then we
haven't
got.
seen it. I
and
refuse.
I am gonna be excluding one Leprechaun movie.
Oh, good. In space? In the hood?
No.
Oh, it's not that one.
The one, the WWE one.
Oh, with Hornswoggle?
Whatever the fuck. I don't know.
I
They never show up.
tried.
I
I
don't even
tried
know how he
watching
got
it,
a
and I
credit
fell
for
asleep.
it.
I tried watching it, and I fell asleep. I was bored.
I don't understand how he even got credited for it.
That's how if I need to go to sleep, I'll put
Unless
on
he's
the
that
original
little, you just
Suspiria.
can't fucking see him. I
What
mean, I know he's a
what I
midget, but fuck.
Don't understand is they're like, oh, it's Leprechaun Origins. I'm like,
There's
okay,
no
so we're gonna
origin
get the
story.
tale of how he started. No, you get
No.
a creature movie that's lackluster, and it put me to
You
sleep.
get more of the origin in part 2.
Yeah, they give
Oh,
you backstory of the leprechaun.
I can't wait.
Or one of the leprechauns, because it is not the same one throughout the series.
Spoilers!
Oh, that's pretty much known after you watch the first one.
Well, I haven't watched the first one yet.
You know what?
You will.
Nor do I want to.
I'm not that great. Movies.
You what?
Like I don't really care about the Leprechaun movies.
I mean, it's fine. Not everybody has good taste.
Hey, it's
I like the first, I like the first 3. I like the
everyone is
first
allowed
3.
to
You
like
don't
what
like
they
it,
like.
Space?
No.
Hellraiser in Space was actually a good movie.
Oh, Bloodlines is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I like Bloodlines. I hate the
That's
space aspect.
that's where the
I love that
series
movie, though.
that's where the series ends for me. When you
Yep.
get to the other ones, I'm like, that's
Yep.
when I started reading about the history of Hellraiser to get off on a
Judgment
tangent
was
here,
all right.
and everything was, well, we have this script. What are we gonna do with it? And the Weinsteins were like,
Throw
"Put
Pinhead in it.
It's
Yeah.
like, no, you can't just plug him into every
And then
movie.
Harvey started plugging other things.
But
He was
Yeah, I'm sure he was doing
raping
that for him.
everybody in the
Oh my
mouth
god. He was tying him to radiators and graping them
for years and years.
I don't know.
to
It's
come.
decades.
Then he went upstairs and raped their whole family.
This show has way more rape jokes in it than any other fucking podcast.
They are grape jokes.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. My
We
bad.
are-
My bad.
We are family friendly.
Yeah, god damn it. What the fuck's wrong with you?
To be fair, though, everybody was asking for it.
I mean, they're all wearing purple.
Oh, I'm happy you guys all enjoyed this.
I ask for it all the time. It's just a matter of whether somebody's going to come through and actually give it to me.
You want us to like put out a plea to your wife to sit on your dick?
I'm
Chuck's
talking
like,
about my wife. I'm
come
talking
on
about
here
the guys
one
I meet
time,
behind the KFC.
It's all rape.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, they're just too busy on the $20 box.
I just want a little extra gravy on my drumstick.
Yeah, well.
Chuck
When Chuck left the show, things got way worse.
Did they?
I think so.
Worse than what?
Than they were before.
I mean, they
I
definitely
don't know how to take
changed.
that.
It changed.
I'm trying to say that maybe you were the
You were the anchor of
yeah, and then you leave, and it's like just let Ron loose.
Well, I mean, that happened later. I got Jeff in, and we started doing some shit, and then brought you part of it. I mean, it worked out good.
Well, that's all thanks to Dark Place.
Yeah, Dark Place kind of changed
I think
everything.
everything's worked out.
What did you say? Did you say
I think
something?
everything's worked out all right.
Yeah. No,
what?
I'm not mad.
I still touch my penis every day, so
He does.
Yeah.
Fills up those socks.
Yeah, you can
But-
stop sending that through Messenger, though. We don't need to see every time you do it.
well, I mean, I just want to show you how big my loads are.
I appreciate it. I just never could imagine that something, such a big load out of such a small thing.
Hey, it's not how big it is; it's how hard you work it.
it's just weird because
And your wife told me it was a good size.
it's like micro dick, and it's like somehow still puts out like a cup, and it's like holy fuck.
A big cup, like one of those Better Call Saul cups, the big ones that they put out. That one. There you go. Says world's best, second best lawyer.
Since they're fancy and all, all the craze nowadays. I know Ron's been filling up his Stanley full of cum.
The Stanley Cup?
Wow.
It'll survive a fire and still hold ice.
It will. It will.
But you know what else is great is not this movie. Anything but this movie.
You're right. Right.
And this
I
is
think
just...
we should start wrapping up our conversation on.
I do want to say, when I was watching the video earlier, they were talking about the things that just kind of kept hindering this movie and setting it back, and the problems. One was that release date of November 3rd. That was set before they started. They said, you still got to hit that mark. And I'm like, you cannot do that to any filmmaker.
They do it. They did it to Nightmare on Elm Street directors all the time.
All the fucking time.
Yeah.
It's like, we have a release date. You need to get your movie made. It's like, do you want a good movie or do you just want to pay?
Okay, well, what are your thoughts on Nightmare 4?
Yeah.
Because that one definitely had a here's your date that they told Rennie Harlan, this is where have to, and it still came out okay.
Yeah, Rennie Harlan put his nose to the grass
I
and
like
was like,
Nightmare
I'll figure
4.
it out. I like 4. It was one of the first ones I saw growing up.
Oh, Rick, you little meatball.
I liked it. I'm not gonna say
I do not like the Invisible Freddy fight scene.
Oh yeah, that was not good.
Because they had to add it later and they couldn't.
Because they had no budget.
They ran out of money. And...
Yeah, so they're like, let's just put him in a room that looks Asian. Don't even put any makeup on Robert.
God damn it. And it's still a better movie than this piece of shit.
I would say Freddy's Dead is better than this.
I wouldn't go that
Ooh,
far.
no.
I would.
I wouldn't go
I
that
enjoy Freddy's Dead.
I do too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
after talking on that man's show about that I was going back and rewatching the movie. I realized how fucked up that movie honestly.
But it had a coherent story.
I mean,
yeah, but it wasn't really one that made much
good.
sense.
This didn't use it at all.
It didn't make it. I can't. I don't have it.
Oh my god. I swear it's like who's the guy that did Jeepers Creepers?
Let's not.
Let's not go that far.
No.
like
Fuckstick fuckface.
Oh god, he could have done a better job making a
fucking Salva. Let's talk about it.
No, we are not.
You know damn well that sets Chuck off.
I know.
Oh, you triggering motherfucker.
Yep,
he's a triggering motherfucker.
I am.
he knows that button's there, and he's just like, hey.
All right, so everybody, let's JB, what did you think of? Give us your rating on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
All right, if I had to rate this movie, which I do have to rate it, first off, I want to throw out there that IMDb gives us a 5.0 out of. Fuck them. Gives it a 5 out of.
They need to change their website. I ain't gonna change nothing.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, they're wrong. They don't know how to grade movies. This is like a 2. I mean, I have took shits and thought it was more entertaining to go and just watch that than to fucking see this.
This is not that bad of a movie. There's
I
much worse out
would
there.
rather watch my dog get impregnated and then have pups than fucking watch this movie.
Okay, well,
I would rather watch Ron fill up all of his socks.
Not all of them. I need some of them. Chuck, what did you give this? What would you give this movie?
Was it 1 through 10?
Yes. Yeah, it hasn't been that long, sir.
Well, I mean, I don't usually go 1 through 10. So 1 through 10, I'm going to give it a 5 just because I enjoy it. I mean,
the only problem with that opinion is that you made it.
And that doesn't fucking matter to me. So, like, it's a stupid fucking movie. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And I can agree with everything that's said about it. But I've always enjoyed it. I have my reasons.
All right.
Because I have my reasons why. So,
what would you rate number 2?
What would you rate number 2?
What do I rate number 2?
Yeah.
Oh, number 2, I'd probably rate it an 8.
An 8?
I gave it a 6.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Jay Bizzle, what would you give Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre trace?
Like Jay Bizzle would.
I'm right around with Chuck. It's like a 4.5. It's like very middle of the road. It's got its problems. I won't deny that at any point. But if it's on, or if I'm looking for something to just throw on in the background, and I don't want to pay attention. I'll throw it on. whatever.
Slam Dunk Ernest is middle of the road.
See,
this
that's
is
the
fucking
thing.
shitstorm fucking
That's
piece
what
of
I've
shit.
done.
I would rather watch a
Like, if
24-hour
I haven't watched it in a
marathon.
while, like, I'll put it on. Just 'cause,
I would rather watch a marathon, a 24-hour marathon of a la A Christmas Story of Thunderpants before I'd watch this movie again. I give this movie a
Ron would
whopping.
also rather watch my shit than this.
I give this movie. You ready for this? I give it a 1. And the only reason I give it a 1 is because Ken Foree's in it, and he fucking survived. The black man survived.
Which
again,
which is weird for the 90s because I mean, let's be honest, they were killing them off.
Oh God.
Well, he wasn't supposed to survive though.
Yeah, and that's the weird
got
part.
Changed.
You know what?
Yeah.
After part 2, Bubba wasn't supposed to survive either.
Yeah. Grandpa shouldn't have either.
But you know, let's just make number 3 because who gives a fuck about the fucking franchise? Oh.
This was made for money, not for the franchise.
Yeah.
I don't think it made that much money.
As were a lot of things
How much money did
at a
this
certain
make?
time. This made, I can pull that up. I have that info.
Budget of $2 million estimated, and gross worldwide 5.7. That's not even worth making at that point.
Well, if you add the extra $2 million for ads, but I don't think they really promoted this thing. For it to make $5 million, that's a profitable movie.
Yeah, it's a profitable movie, but I mean, dude, just
And squeak by.
you sell something and make 2 cents is profitable.
Its entire worldwide box office was 5,765,562. So on a budget estimated around 2 million, they made their money back and a little more. So
Well, you got like I said, you got to double your budgets for ads and stuff, but I don't think they spent that much on this.
no, the most money went into that trailer, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
The ridiculously awesome trailer.
Which leads you to believe one thing, and then you watch the movie, and you go, "Wait, huh?"
Yeah, it's misleading as fuck.
I mean, at least we got Kane Hodder in the trailer, and
so he's
stunt work, and
so he's basically he's played Leatherface, Jason, and Freddy.
Yep.
I just want to throw this out there. I was just looking at those things, and the people who hate this movie, oh God, it's insane how many there were. You know, and I mean, even going through some of these, like the actual written reviews, most of them are kind of like agreeing with the way Ron and I were. And I mean, a lot of them start talking about how this isn't even better than part 2, and it sucks still. And oh my God.
this is in no way, shape, or form better than part 2.
No.
Part 2 is.
No.
Part 2, in my opinion, is really, really fun. It's really well done for what it is, and it makes 3 look like an amateur hour. Plus, you got Bill Moseley hamming it up as an even crazier version, since he's the twin of the hitchhiker from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
He's.
Did you know
just
that they
out of
really
his
weren't even
mind
twins?
more. I mean that. Yeah, they're probably just led to believe, but who cares, really?
I just wanted you to know Bill Moseley really doesn't have a twin.
Are you sure? Because I met Phil Moseley.
No.
He had a creepy mustache. It was really weird.
He tried to sell him a car.
Maybe that wasn't his twin. It was just a crackhead. I don't know. I'm not saying Bill Moseley looks like a crackhead, by the way.
On that note, what's going on with you, Chuck? What do you held up a book earlier with your product placement? Tell us about your book a little bit, where we can get it, etc., etc.
Well,
I'm trying to. I'll be honest. I'm trying to wrap this shit show up because I'm about to take a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
And I bet it's gonna be more entertaining than those.
I know it will be.
You're gonna blow your load on a chainsaw?
No, I'm gonna shit on a chainsaw.
What did the chainsaw do to you?
It wasn't Bubba's from the original movie. And what's up with not calling him Bubba? Junior. Who's daddy?
All right, so I'm Chuck Nasty, and you can go and get my books on Amazon. You can get this one right here, which is called House of Flesh. This is the most recent one I put out. You can go on and get my novella Thirsty on there, as well as the anthology where I joined Stuart Bray and Jason Nickey, and called Sludge, where we talk about, well, each story is about mutants and different things of that nature. And yeah, you can go on there and get that shit on there. Amazon. Woot, woot. And you can also you can go on my my Chuck Nasty like author page. Just look it up.
Did you just woot woot?
Yep.
You're dead. We're taking away your horror card. You just wooted.
Nope. You don't get to take away anything with me.
Next thing I know, I'm gonna call him up. He's gonna be like, hold on, Justin. I gotta spray this Fago in my house.
What about you, Jeff?
I don't drink much soda anymore. Or I would.
What about you, Jeff? What's going on the Skewered Universe podcast?
So like Ron said, I host the Skewered Universe podcast with my wife, Leanne. We have started our December horror series, Sleigh Bells Ring, Are You Frightened? Sleigh spelled S-L-A-Y, as in dying.
As in Santa Sleigh.
We started off with a really good one, Deadly Games, Style Code Santa Claus from 1990, a little French film.
It was fucked.
Dude, that movie is basically, the way I describe it is, if you took
It's a fun
Rambo,
movie. I don't care.
Home Alone, and Die Hard, mashed them together and cast a kid in the lead role as the hero. That's that movie. It predates Home Alone. Not by much.
Actually, Joe Bob showed it on the last drive-in, and he mentioned that there were some talk about somebody ripping somebody off.
Yeah, the director of this film wanted to file suit against the makers of Home Alone, saying they ripped him off. Which, I mean
I can see it.
Deadly Games is a lot more violent than with, a
I don't
payoff.
know. When you really break down Home Alone, it's a pretty violent.
Yeah, but there's no lasting injuries.
It's cartoon violence.
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Deadly Games. Yeah. So go
There's
check that out.
consequences.
We had a lot of fun watching it, but if you want to know what we thought exactly all the way through, check it out. And we did the breakdown of our every 15 minutes Interstellar Interstitials. And we're going to be recording another one tomorrow night so we can get it out right around Christmas for you guys.
What are you watching?
I have not decided yet. I have 3 other
Black
movies.
Christmas.
I have Don't Open Till Christmas, the Advent Calendar, and A Christmas Horror Story that I have lined up. But
Christmas Horror Story is really good.
I might pivot to something else. I'm not sure, but I think Advent Calendar might be the one we do. Or Don't Open Till Christmas.
I need to watch It's a Wonderful Knife. It sounds like it's good.
Do want to check that out. I've heard people
it's
say
all right.
Yeah.
I've heard people say it's ridiculous, but I saw the trailer and I'm like,
it's like Groundhog Day meets a slasher.
Yeah,
I mean, they kind of did that with Happy Death Day and all that shit.
Yeah.
And they did that with that recent movie. It's another 80s throwback.
Which I enjoyed. The one with the
I liked
chick
it
from
too,
Mad
yeah.
Men. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. Freaky or not Freaky.
I'd rather watch
it's
a
something
good
along those
movie.
Yeah. So the Ron Pertee Show, live every Tuesday at 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv and youtube.com/I'm Uncle Ron. This Tuesday, we're doing the year in review. Me and Nate are going to break down everything because it's our final episode of the year. And then on January 2nd is the big day, everybody. It's the coronation of me as the king of late night, because I am. Because fuck Jimmy Fallon.
Question.
Yes.
Who nominated you for this?
I did.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep. And we're going with it.
Who voted for it?
Nate.
Just Nate?
That's the only person that was allowed to vote.
I mean, look, I call myself a podcasting icon, and I haven't done this that frequently.
And I've been doing shows for fucking forever. So you know what? Fuck you, Jimmy Fallon. You're not funny. The best Simpsons moment ever, in my opinion, is when Flanders lets those foreign girls live in his house, and they're webcam girls. And Bart and Milhouse are laughing at Flanders walking in there, or no, they're laughing at one of the girls slapping their ass with a picture of Rod or Todd. I forget which one. And Homer comes in. He goes, "What are you two laughing at? You better not say Jimmy Fallon, because I'll know you're lying." I'm like, yes, fucking Homer's the man.
I mean, you're not wrong.
No, I'm not wrong.
I almost feel like we should probably have an award system and do our own award show. And do like some of the other award shows out there and give them all to ourselves.
So would it be the cum-filled sock award?
Yes,
I mean,
I'll provide them to everyone with a nice base.
Oh my god! You know I could probably get those made out of bronze, like pretty easily. We got like a whole
Bronze? No. You do macaroni art on a plate. You don't.
Also,
spend
what's
money
the
on this shit.
before
You don't
we
spend a lot of money
before
on
I Viggo Mortensen myself? What
Yeah,
what
let's
is the
go ahead and
update
get
on the
out of here.
video game, sir? Any update you can give
All
people?
right, so the Tales from the Podcast video game is still moving along. It's looking good. I'm excited for it. Remember,
I am too.
To be one of the first people to get it, you have to be a Patreon member. And if you are not a Patreon member, maybe think about getting into it, or just go
Or watch
fucking
me stream it.
Fucking point. I don't really care. You're gonna enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then I don't want to hear about it. That's simple. Also, check out this book, talesfromthepodcast.com. Like I said earlier, you could touch it, you could rub it, jerk off on it. Whatever you want to do to this book.
Get
I
really
would
get really Chuck Nasty with it.
I like
I
to
highly
rub
recommend
myself with
reading
it.
it first.
Right.
Then you know.
You could tell me you're gonna buy a copy, have me hold on to it for a few weeks, and never purchase one.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. So we'll do that off the
air. and then never get one.
So, Ron, I know you gotta. If you want to go take care of your Viggo Mortensen situation,
yeah. Well,
I do have
go
one
ahead.
little video to close us out here. Real
Make it quick.
It's a minute 17.
I can handle it.
Okay. Kept trying to take it away. I think we were clicking at the same time.
Oh my god.
That's why I put my hands up, like, okay, I'm off the mouse.
Oh god. I mean,
Touching
you're welcome,
gift.
Pornhub, for an ad. I mean, if you want to sponsor the show, we'd greatly.
I actually didn't know it was a real ad, so
Yeah, that was a real ad thing.
it was from a year ago.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, if we're being honest, I mean,
They should probably use that ad all the time anyway.
Yeah.
He probably just got some Wookiee porn.
I'm completely cool with that. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching. Remember, go over to talesfromthepodcast.com. You can get to everybody's links, everybody's sites, all from there. And remember, check out Chuck Nasty on his other shows, the Nasty Nation, Graveyard Talk,
Video Store
Clerks, and
there's more coming.
I feel like there's like 9 or 10 more.
Not yet, but there will be.
Right. You should. Never mind.
Bastard Sons of a Judas Code also.
Yes.
And
don't forget.
Here we go.
Here it comes.
If you're going to listen to them, you should probably check out the song that has inspired them to even make music in the first place.
Oh my
The Legitimate Sons of a Jesus Pig. I mean, we have a couple of #1 hit songs.
In Croatia.
I mean, some would say that the Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Legitimate Sons of a Jesus Pig. I feel like I'm more wrong.
Are you really popular if you only got a few people on SoundCloud listening to you?
Yes. I mean,
The fact that anybody listens on SoundCloud is amazing.
I can't speak for how much the Bastard Sons have done, but I will say that the Legitimate Sons of a Jesus Pig have almost went platinum with their last 2 singles. So when I say almost went platinum, I almost purchase small pieces of platinum for those songs.
Okay, and on that note, everybody, I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week when we do Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. And with that, the crypt is closed.
Thanks for listening, kiddies. You're all a scream.